All right. So when it comes down to looking at what type of 1099 needs to be filed, it can be a little tricky. So I want to walk through this, but just to give you an idea, the most common ones are going to be a 1099 NEC and a 1099 miscellaneous. For most of the situations, those are going to be the two that you're dealing with. So let me give you a little bit of guidance on that one. So what I've done here, and let me zoom in a little bit for you to give you a little bit, make it easier for you to see. So what I've done here is I put together a list of the different types of situations. So if it's a independent contractor or a freelancer that you pay more than $600 or more for a service, you're usually going to get a 1099 NEC. So that is non-employee compensation. If it's rent or landlord fees, then you're going to issue a 1099 miscellaneous. Royalties are going to be a 1099 miscellaneous. Prizes and awards that is going to be a 1099 miscellaneous. Now, if it's prizes and awards to employees, that's going to be handled differently. Now, if it is direct payments to for services rendered from an attorney or from a law firm, it is going to be a 1099 NEC. Now, if it is going to be payments for, legal services and non-legal services that are part of like a general contract agreement, typically that's going to be a 1099 NEC. Now, when it gets down to personal legal fees, meaning like if you're going through a divorce or you hired a lawyer to represent you for something of a personal matter, meaning it doesn't have to do with the business, then you are not going to file for that because those are not business expenses. Now, if it is legal fees that are paid as part of a settlement agreement or the gross proceeds going to attorneys, meaning that, hey, a case settled, there are fees being paid to an attorney, there are fees being paid out because of the settlement, that is typically going to require a 1099 miscellaneous. Now, here's an area that becomes very tricky for law firms or real estate agencies. Anytime you are holding the money that belongs to other people, meaning you're holding money in trust, meaning the money doesn't necessarily belong to you, but you are responsible for managing the money that does not belong to you. And there may be times where payments have to go out to different parties at the agreement of a settlement agreement or per the instruction of the client. For this one, this can get a little bit tricky. So what I would advise is if you have questions on this, you definitely should work with your tax accountant to really get the clarity that you need, because there are a couple of exceptions that are built into this when this is the case. So you do want to work with someone who knows your very specific situation about how to approach this, because if you try to look online, one of the things you'll see is there are different varying opinions on how this should be handled. Some say that, hey, it is completely the client's responsibility. So you as the person who is holding the funds, you don't have to file because you're not actually directing the payments. And then you may find in other places where you read about people who have gone through an IRS audit where one of the audit issues it mentions is that they didn't issue a 1099 for the payments that they made from the trust fund. So I would just say in general that with this one, you definitely want to work with a tax preparer to really answer that question. Or like I said, many people err on the conservative side and they say, hey, whatever payments that we are making, whether it's from the operating or the trust, they often do issue a 1099 and say, hey, we're just going to be on the conservative side and we're going to make those payments, but work with your specific accountant. And if you don't have one, then let us know. There's some that we can recommend. Like I said, as an accounting firm ourselves, we support law firms. So if you need help, definitely reach out and let us know. Thanks for tuning into the Law Firm and Finance content. If you're looking for better finance strategies for your law firm, follow us on all social medias where you can get great tips and advice, or email us at contact@TLTurnerGroup and visit our website, tlturnergroup.com, to find out more ways that we can help you.